Dr. Betty Smith, since childhood, has had a burning desire to relieve the suffering of others, humans and animals alike. As a doctor of naturopathy, she utilizes body work, essential oils, herbs, energy and frequency medicine, nutrition, and more to assist her clients in regaining balance, harmony, and synchrony. Through education and support, she encourages self care and takes responsibility for regaining their health, enabling them to reach higher levels of wellness. She is also a proud Wakanapreneur and a Ruby here at Wakana. Dr. Smith, Betty Smith, are you out there? Of course you are.
I am right here. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for that introduction, Dr. Rita. And it's a pleasure to follow such knowledgeable kindred spirits as Karen and Dr. Joy. So I am going to, once I finish my vape, so I am going to talk about two of our most popular essential oils. The first one is black seed oil, and the other one will be peppermint. So black seed oil is a very, very, very old, in fact, I would say ancient oil. The generic name is Nigella sativa, and it actually was found in the tombs with the pharaohs. So you can see how old and how important a product it was and is today. Now, the black seed is also known as black cumin. It's also known as black sesame. And from those names, you can tell that it has been used and still is used to enhance flavors in foods, especially Indian foods and that kind of thing. There are many, many uses. Hold on, let me move my cat. Many uses for blacks. They always want to get in on the act. There are many, many uses for black seed oil, such as pain relief. It's antibacterial, anti-inflammatory. In fact, we utilize black seed oil as part of our proprietary blend of our hempranium formula of with CBD. And the reason for that is that, again, it's very highly anti-inflammatory. So it actually enhances the anti-inflammatory properties of the CBD oil and makes it that much more effective in terms of relieving inflammation, which again helps to relieve pain. Black seed oil also has anti-ulcer properties. It's very soothing and enhances the functions of the digestive system. It's anti-cholinergic. And so in other words, it helps to balance the cholesterol and balance cholesterol, so that people that have higher levels of cholesterol can actually, in using some of these products, especially black seed oil, can help to bring that under control, hopefully decreasing the need or eliminating the need for drugs. black seed oil is also antifungal. It's anti-hypertensive, so it helps to support the heart and the circulatory system, as well as decrease blood pressure. Excuse me, and actually is hypotensive, so it brings down the pressure. It's antioxidant, it's antispasmodic, it's antiviral. It also has bronchodilation as one of its really great properties. So it opens up the airways in the lungs so that it eases breathing. Black seed oil is also anti-diabetic. In fact, it has been found to stimulate the beta cells to produce insulin, which is a great thing for diabetics. Anybody that has problems with they're maintaining stable blood sugar levels would certainly benefit from the use of CBD. Anybody that's been diagnosed as being diabetic in using black seed oil would certainly help to bring the blood sugar levels back into balance, because it's going to stimulate the body to produce more insulin, which is really the problem with diabetics. They don't produce enough insulin. That would be type 2 diabetes. Okay. Oh, yes. And it is also protective of the liver. You know, the liver is a hard working organ. And because of the food that we eat with the pesticides and the eco pollution and the emotions that sometimes flare out of control, especially anger, anxiety, fear, and those kinds of things. All of those things affect the liver. So using black seed oil would certainly support the liver to help it to be able to handle the toxins and the byproducts that are a part and parcel of many of these things. Okay, so I already said that it was hypotensive. It enhances or induces the production of interferon, which is actually a protein or a group of proteins that are naturally occurring and that have been used to treat many diseases, especially those involving the immune system. And so that would also include viruses like I'll say SARS too, or and those other viruses that are mutations, I'll call them, of that. I won't call any other names, but obviously if it's if black seed oil is boosting the immune system, it's going to have an effect on all the viruses that we encounter, viruses which are indeed everywhere. So it's not about a virus, a bacteria. It's about our immune system and how well functioning it is. And black seed oil definitely enhances the function of our immune system. Okay, black seed oil also protects the kidneys, which are also another hardworking organ. It stimulates tumor necrosis factor. So this is how it helps with cancer treatment, I would say, or helping our bodies to be able to fight off cancer or kill the tumors that might exist. Okay, now I have a friend who is an Egyptian perfumer. And I consulted with him. In addition to all of these phenomenal things, I asked him for the one thing that he could tell me that was not common. And what he said was black seed oil has THC in it. He said it's not a lot, but it does exist. And so anybody that has a job where they might have drug testing or that kind of thing, then you need to be aware that black seed oil does indeed have some THC in it. It's minimal, like 150th of a not even a milligram, but it does exist. So be aware of that. One thing that he did say too is that people actually back in ancient times and in Egypt, where he is from, and comes from a family of perfumers for well over 100 years. He said that they would mix the black seeds together with honey and ingest them, and this would take care of any and all types of respiratory issues. Okay, now the other thing that I wanted to mention about black seed oil, because it has so many benefits, especially to the respiratory system, as well as the immune system, is this is a great oil to use on children. I always recommend and have myself put it on the bottoms of their feet. This is a safe place to put essential oils, on the bottom of children's feet. And you will really be amazed at the protection that it provides, as well as the benefits that it will provide, especially in terms of respiratory problems. Case in point, my infant grandbaby. They were always just so full of mucus and coughing and sneezing and just, literally just running. I'd be like, coughing grandma's face, And so in the morning when we babysit, I would literally take the black seed oil, put it on just a drop or two, put it on the bottom of her feet, and then I would dilute it, and I'd rub it up her spine and just a bit on her chest. And by the afternoon, I'm telling you, there was barely any mucus coming out of her nose, and she was no longer congested. So it is really, really I would say, an oil that everyone needs to keep in their medicine chest as an arsenal against, especially we're moving into the flu, and cold season. So keep that in mind. Okay, then I'm going to move through to peppermint. Now, peppermint is something that pretty much everybody is familiar with. It has just a plethora of benefits. It is great for the respiratory system. It opens up your sinuses. It opens up your respiratory passages. It also has a calming and a soothing effect. Sometimes when you just want to chill out, you can mix some peppermint with a carrier oil and put it on the back of your neck. For headaches, you can put it on your forehead, your temples, that kind of thing. And you just be surprised at how soothing and calming it is, and how it just helps to relieve the discomfort. It is also great after a day in the sun. You can put a couple of drops in a carrier oil, even a drop or two in aloe vera gel, and smooth it on the body, especially if you're prone to, or you've been out in the sun too long and moving towards sunburn can be very helpful. You can use it to freshen your carpets. You can put it in a couple of drops in some baking soda, sprinkle it around, brush it in, and then vacuum, and voila, it's just like you have a brand new carpet. You can also use it like if you're having that kind of foggy feeling in the head, feeling not real clear, you can inhale the aroma of peppermint, and it just kind of clears your head, lifts you up, gives you a bit of energy. And it's also great for rehydrating yourself. You can put a drop in a glass of water and it will freshen you up. It'll help to drive the water into the cells. It's a great breath freshener. Just a drop. In fact, you know what? You don't even need a drop. You could take a toothpick and just dip it in the peppermint, and that would be enough to freshen your breath. Peppermint has a tendency to be a little bit hot, so you want to be careful with using it. We call it neat, internally, like putting it on your tongue. It could be, again, a little hot, so you could mix it in a bit of honey and that kind of thing, and mix it in your water, or just take that little drop of honey with that peppermint into your mouth. Okay, it's great to stimulate the circulation in your scalp. You know how you get that itchy, dry feeling? Well, you can put a drop, 1 to 3 drops of peppermint in your shampoo and massage it into your scalp. And oh boy, I tell you, that tingly feeling just wakes you up. In fact, it wakes your whole body up. You can also do a bit of peppermint in your bath water. And the best thing to really do is to put it in like Epsom salt or that kind of thing, and put it under the water and let it bubble up and infuse into the entire tub. And you want to do that because if you just drop the oil into the water, well, oil and water don't mix, so it's really just going to sit on the upper layer on the top of the water, really. Let's see, I'm just going to give you a couple more. It's very cooling, so on hot days, you could put a drop in some carrier oil and rub it on your chest or your back, and you'd be surprised at how cool and calm you start to feel. It refreshes musty rooms. You can diffuse it, but like Dr. Joy said, you don't want to diffuse essential oils for too long of a period. And FYI here, if you are diffusing essential oils, please be aware that animals cannot tolerate some oils. I can tell you right now, cats don't like peppermint. And in fact, some oils can be damaging to the liver of animals. So please, if you have animals in your house, do a little due diligence. You can go to Google and find out which oils are safe around the animals that you do have. Okay, yeah, so those are some, oh, and one more that I want to tell you about, then I'm going to give it back to Dr. Rita or Dr. Joy. Spiders, ants, roaches, all of those little creepy crawlers, they hate peppermint. They hate it. So you can take a cotton ball and stuff it into a corner or into corner corners in the ceiling where the spiders like to crawl, at your door where the ants like to creep in, behind stoves and desks and that kind of thing, where those 1,000-leg things come from. But they really do hate peppermint. So with that, I am going to turn it back over. Thank you so much for listening. You can reach me on Facebook as Betty Guy Smith. My website is cbdlioness.com, and that will take you directly to my Wakana for Life website. And then my email is drbetty@gmail.com.
Fantastic. You guys were amazing. But you know what? I want to see if everybody was listening. So I'm going to give away a bottle of black seed.
Whoa.
First person that answers this question right gets a bottle of black seed. True or false? Essential oils can be safely ingested. And the first person that answered that right, what's the right answer? Next slide. Next slide. It is false. So the very first person that answered that correctly is Indira Hogan. Congratulations. Please put your information in the chat box. If you don't mind putting your email in that chat box, Indira, so that we can send you out that bottle of black seed. So, panelists, are you ready? First question. My husband, not my husband, I don't have a husband, but Miss Davis's, Ernestine Davis's husband has an uncontrollable itch in his feet. What can he use to soothe his feet? It's so bad he can't sleep.
I know peppermint oil does help with itch when added to a carrier oil, especially if you haven't, like Dr. Betty said, if you haven't used it before, and using it neat causes a little bit of sensitivity. I've put peppermint oil on mosquito bites here and there. And the tea tree is probably the two that I would go with topically.
I agree.
I'd also like to add to that black seed oil. Since we don't really know what the cause of it is, I would say in fact, I'd probably mix 1 drop of each with a carrier oil and slather it on. Because there's some probably pathogen or microorganism that is causing him to itch, even if it's, that's causing him to itch. So those 3 together would probably hit it right on the nail right on the head, because you've got your anti-inflammatory properties, you've got your antimicrobial properties, you've got your soothing properties.
And that cooling sensation too.
Exactly, and more, so.
Yeah. Wow, this really already, it's just the first question, really shows how we all need all of these essential oils in our home, and to share this knowledge with our family and friends. Next question, is it true essential oils may affect DNA? And if so, how? Is it safe? This question is from the woman that won the black seed.
I don't want to speak on that without researching. I mean, essential oils do have medicinal properties, so it's possible that they can alter in a good way things that happen in your body. But as far as it affecting DNA, I wouldn't want to speak on that without doing further research.
Okay, we'll get back to you, Indira Hogan. Please put your email in that chat. What is the best product for neuropathy in the feet?
I was actually referring to my my resources, which is why I took my video off. But because I saw some of these questions and I wanted to make sure I had accurate answers. My research has shown eucalyptus and peppermint in terms of what we have for the anti-inflammatory and pain relief that you the inflammation and the pain that you experience with neuropathy, the peppermint and eucalyptus can address that. And since we're talking about inflammation, you might as well, if your feet are itching and you have neuropathy in your feet, you might as well do that blend that Dr. Betty talked about with the black seed, eucalyptus, and peppermint.
Mm-hmm.
And can I add that I would also recommend that you include the CBD, because CBD is neuroprotective. So we have a formula already good to go. We've got our CBD oil that is enhanced with peppermint, black seed, turmeric, and those are all anti-inflammatory. With the CBD added, you have your neuroprotection, which protects your nervous system and can help to soothe those nerve endings. I also read I believe it was the black seed has some pretty nice protective or soothing properties for the nervous system too. I know they use it with people with MS. So I would say get some hempranium.
Absolutely. I think we've answered this question. Which one of the essential oils are deterrents for spiders and mice? I think you guys overwhelmingly said peppermint.
Yep.
So we get that. I have battled with environmental asthma. Most fragrances, perfumes, and outside nature elements can trigger an asthma attack. I've tried some essential oils and find them to be triggers for me as well. Do you recommend to help me reduce the number of triggers? FYI, I've created a bubble to live in and always avoid crowds.
Well, first of all, let me say that, excuse me, all essential oils are not the same. You can buy essential oils about anywhere. And unfortunately, they say that they're pure, but many of them are not. Many of them are extracted using chemicals like hexane and other chemicals. And not only that, but many of them are diluted or adulterated with other substances and are indeed not pure and not organic. So you run the risk of not only the adulterating chemicals that they use to extract them and dilute them, but you also run the risk of contaminants like pesticides and herbicides being in there too. So you have to know your sources, just like CBD and anything else. You have to know your source. You buy lavender or tea tree oil or eucalyptus, even black seed in the grocery store.
TJ Maxx.
Yes, TJ Maxx, the even some health food stores.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know your source. You have to read labels. I don't care where you are.
And know how to read your labels too.
Exactly.
You know, it's so much. Just like what kind of gives us quality CBD, they give us quality essential oils as well. So knowing your source, like Dr. Betty said, is very helpful. And knowing that the trigger to what you may have been, the triggers you may have been experiencing might not have been the oil, but it may have been the additive.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, because it can be 5% essential oil and 95% foolishness. And just because that 5% essential oil is in there and it's not regulated by the FDA, people can slap something on that says 100% pure or all organic, whatever. As long as there's that small percentage and you don't know anything about the company, and they can say whatever they want to. But we have a company that you can trust.
Absolutely. What about snoring? Are there any essential oils that help with snoring? Is another question.
Let's see. Something in here.
I have heard of some using lavender for snoring. There's different types of snoring. So
Sure.
it just depends on, how aggressive, I guess it is. You have to first test if you have any sensitivity towards lavender, because some people do have allergic reaction. But I know that's one oil that I've heard of for sure that has helped many people, many marriages stay together.
There you go, Phil. Go get some lavender. Will peppermint get rid of bees?
What?
Oh, lemongrass won't. They love them. Learned that from personal experience too. The research is saying that it does. I have not tried it for bees, but I know that it repels other pests, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, most mints do repel a lot of insects, but I'm not really clear that bees would be one of those insects. They're pretty tenacious. I'm just thinking of my own garden, that I have peppermint in the garden.
They still come around.
Yeah, they do come around. You're correct. They do. But I don't know if that would be the first choice I would use for bees. I have to do a little research. I haven't thought about. We want bees now. We're like,
Really?
We need more bees. So I'm not sure why you're trying to get them away from peppermint. So I got to think about that. You ladies know more about the bees than me.
Another question, can we use this on children, topicals? I'm asking about the immune defense oil or the essential defense. That's from Natoya Brown.
Well, my child has been an oily child since she was about 9 months old. Back then I didn't know what I know now, but she's been oily for a long time. And I always started with either the diffuser or the feet. And our essential defense in some other companies is also called thieves oil because of the story that I told before. And so I've made her like little rollers to put some oil in the bottom and put a carrier oil, and I just rub it on her feet. She's to the point where she can do it herself now. But rub it on her feet and put some socks on, similar to how our grandparents used to do Vicks and socks or garlic and socks. Just to kind of either pull those toxins out or make sure that those essential oil molecules travel up through your body from the feet. So I would definitely recommend the essential defense, especially in these germy times, and particularly when or if they go back to school. I noticed a big difference when I was consistently putting, at that time, thieves oil on her feet versus when I forgot a couple of days and then she comes home with those sniffles. So I would recommend it, starting with 1 drop on each foot, or 1 drop in your hand, rub it together with the carrier oil and rub it on the bottoms of the feet.
And the other thing is, I'm sure the kids are going to be wearing masks. You could also just brush the outside of the mask. Make sure it's the outside that is not touching their face. Or if you have one of those masks that has a filter in it, swipe the filter and slide it down in the center of it. And that way, in breathing, you're actually breathing in the vapors of the essential oils, which is really where we get the protective part of the protective functions from our nasal cavity, linking to the rest of our body, to the limbic brain, as Dr. Joy mentioned. So those are some ways that you could also utilize it to protect them, because we don't know. We don't know who they'll be around, what's gonna, who's got what and that kind of thing. But again, it's about boosting our immune system and our immune system functioning to protect us from all of that out there.
Perfect. Another question, do you have to use the whole tea bag, boil the entire bag with our immune defense tea? Do we have to boil the entire bag? I'm not sure how you can get around not boiling the entire.
Yeah, it's just one big bag.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I don't see why you would pull it apart.
Right.
And
Toya, I wouldn't pull it apart. I would do the whole bag as directed in 32 ounces of water and letting it seep, and then putting it in the refrigerator and use, as you need it. It is intended for a 4-day detox, 8 ounces once a day. That's 8 times 4 is 32 ounces. That is the recommended way of doing it. But yes, use the entire bag. Another question is about the essential oils that can be used for thinning hairlines for male and female. Are there any essential oils that can be used for thinning hairlines, male and female? Would someone like to talk about our hemp-powered hair? Because it has the CBD and the essential oils. That's the product you want to get. Dr. Joy?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If we were talking about individual oils, I mean, the peppermint can help to stimulate that follicle and kind of cleanse your scalp of any issues, or helping with any dandruff that may be caking up there. But our hemp-powered hair, I just pulled it out, has our CBD, the proprietary blend of some olive oil, black seed oil, baobab oil. I always have problem with that word.
Baobab.
Thank you.
Baobab.
Always. The hemp seed oil, lavender, rosemary, moringa, wild salmon, peppermint, cedarwood, thyme, cinnamon, borage oil, and lemon oil. So all of these help with that healthy scalp, helping to restore that follicle and, kind of cleanse that area so that the hair actually has room to grow. And if they're, like Doris Mosley said, if there's dead follicles, it's not going to revive it. But if it's something that's just having a little bit of problems there, then this hemp power hair is amazing. She even teaches us how to make a spray, or how to just apply it to the area that's causing a problem. So the hemp power hair is what I would recommend, over and above any of the ones by themselves.
Yeah, if you can, please join her call on Mondays at 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. You definitely want to engage in that Zoom. It's amazing and very powerful as it relates to hair. Let's see. I think we answered the questions with allergies, right? Didn't we answer allergies?
Did speak to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes or no?
Well, yes, we did.
Okay. So we did speak about allergies. We talked about children. We talked about using the entire bag. We talked about neuropathy. We talked about snoring. We talked about our itchy feet and our husband and not sleeping. And then we talked about our certified organic USDA essential oils. Question from Carol is, what is the difference in pure and uncut peppermint oil and our oil? Great presentation, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So what is the difference?
Yes.
Between pure and uncut?
Correct.
Peppermint oils and our, well, the oils are distilled from the plant, and different oils are marketed, I guess I could say, according to the I want to say the run. There are oils that come out as the first distillation that might be more concentrated and stronger. And the more they are distilled, the less the potency, I guess you could say. So yes. So some of the oils that I mentioned before that you buy at the grocery store or, you know, the gas station or here or there that say, oh yeah, we're pure, we're natural, 100% natural. Okay, so you got a drop of peppermint, you know, and a whole bunch of something else. So again, know your sources. Know what the quality is. Organic is always better. In fact, our products have we have the COA or the certificate of analysis for all of our oil, all of our products, so that you can see that what we say is in our products is what is in our products.
And it helps to know too, just as an aside, it helps to know how that particular oil is extracted. So for instance, if you're eating an orange or a lemon or what have you, you basically have the essential oil on your fingertips. Like you can smell it coming from the rind. So if you see, it's harder to tell with price for like citrus essential oils if that really is a quality one, because it's so easy to make. Like you're almost making the oil yourself by just rubbing the rind. But if you're talking about something like if you're talking about something like sandalwood or frankincense, those trees have to grow 40 or 50 years to even produce an oil that can be extracted that would make any sense medicinally to even heal someone. So if you have people that are cutting down sandalwood and frankincense trees after like 2 years and selling oil, and they can sell those oils for $10 or $15, it's like, what's in here? Water? You know? So it helps to kind of know and do your research, not only around the company, but around how that particular oil is extracted. And sometimes that will point you to whether the price that they're charging for it reflects the quality of that product.
Fantastic. We do have some research that was done. You want to share that research, Dr. Natasha Gettings, as it relates to essential oils and DNA?
Yes, so I took a look after the question was asked about how do or if essential oils impact our DNA. And basically what preliminary research has shown, similar to how we were discussing how black seed oil has a lot of benefits as it relates to prevention of cellular mutation, cancer. DNA is obviously our genetic code. So essential oils have been found to protect a part of our DNA that's referred to as telomeres. Basically, the more this part of our DNA kind of breaks off and becomes damaged, the more prone our cells are to making mutations. So there are 2 specific essential oils that have been found to protect our DNA, and it's basil and rosemary. But we need a lot of more research in that area for sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So hopefully that answered your question, Indira. Hopefully she's still on the line. If not, we'll email her that information. Can essential oils help with an earache?
Yes.
Which essential oils?
You would never put it in the ear canal. Never, ever.
Never, ever put it in your ear canal.
Never. What you can do is you can take a drop. Now, you can take a drop and put it behind the ear, and you can put it in front of the ear as well as down the neck, down the side of the neck where you have your lymph nodes, and that should give you some relief. You do want to pay attention to the length of time that you have the earache, because in self-treating, you always want to be careful to be aware that if symptoms don't subside in 2 days or so, that you really need to seek medical attention.
Great.
Dr. Betty, what do you think about the sweet almond oil in terms of heating it a little bit and actually putting it on a cotton swab or holding a wet compress or hot compress over it?
I've done that. I suffered from earaches as a child, and that was another introduction to essential oils for me. So the heat relieves some of the pain. The oil on the hot compress or a cotton ball, you're not soaking in it. It's just a drop or two, like Dr. Betty said. Depending on what oil you're using, and I think it just helps draw out some of the infection. So whether you could use eucalyptus, that's a strong oil, but there are some blends of oils that can help with that, like purification, things like that. So I agree about using the lymph node as really the path that you want to travel the oil on, which is usually, on the sides of the neck as well. So I agree with both ladies.
Wonderful. I just want to say, if you are a guest on the line, there are guests asking how they can purchase these products. If you are a guest on the line, please connect with the person that invited you. Someone on the chat is saying that they got a link, was sent the link. Hopefully you know who sent the link to you, so that you can purchase these amazing products. We are going to have to end it very soon, so let me take just 2 more questions. The question is about sleep. Can any of these oils help with sleep?
So, what am I thinking about? Peppermint and eucalyptus are going to be very stimulating. Some people have said that it's relaxing for them. So that would kind of be an experiment for you in terms of how it affects you.
Otherwise, eat one of our gummies at night, either our powder or our
That will take care of it.
Yes.
That's what will take care of your sleep issue.
It will that.
Yes, absolutely. And then there is another question regarding allergies. The panel actually spoke about good oils versus bad oils. They never addressed what products could be used for environmental asthma. That's the last questions, ladies and gentlemen. Environmental asthma.
So with regard to like respiratory concerns, period, I know a lot of people with allergies, whether it's like topical allergies where they're getting like itching on their skin or what have you, since all of that is kind of connected. I've known people to use black seed oil internally. I've known people to use it like putting it on their chest, or even if you're doing peppermint or eucalyptus, putting it on your chest. But depending on the severity of your breathing condition, that peppermint and eucalyptus could be too much. So tea tree is also good for kind of cleansing your air and cleansing your space, and especially in babies. So if you're somebody with breathing conditions and babies, both of those people kind of have lower lung capacity than the average person. So that tea tree being either diffused or rubbed in your hands and inhaled or put on your chest can kind of help with those asthma issues. Or breathing issues in general. So if I had to pick, I'd say peppermint or tea tree if you're not having severe like bronchospasms. If you are, the peppermint or eucalyptus, excuse me, if you're not having severe bronchospasms. If you are, the tea tree could be effective in that same way. And then the black seed oil internally, I would say, just for allergies in general.
And it's also going to depend on, when you're saying environmental, how you mean that, because that'll determine how strong a oil or blend that you may need. So I guess it's a little difficult to answer that without a little more detail.
So I want to suggest that Pat Day McCrae, I want you to reach out to the person that invited you so that we can get, this is a particular person that has a lot of questions on the chat. I will take one more of her questions, and that is what can treat gout in hands. But Pat Day McCrae, please connect with the person that invited you so that we can get these products to you and other guests that are really excited as well.
Okay, well, can I just say that number one, we don't treat anything. We
Speak that truth, Dr. Betty.
we treat nothing. We provide products that help to bring the body back into balance, and so that the body can do what it is meant to do. So in terms of, let me stab it real quick. In terms of gout, number one, you have to pay attention to your diet. Purines from meats and organ meats and that kind of thing are notorious for increasing the uric acid level in the body. Now, what I found out was that high fructose corn syrup is the other culprit. Because so many of my patients were taking like allopurinol and that kind of, and they were still having gout attacks. And I'm like, well, what is this? And I just happened to stumble on the high fructose corn syrup piece. And it is one of the things that, again, increases uric acid. So in that we don't really treat anything, you pay attention to your diet, drink plenty of water, and what you can do to help with the discomforts of gout. And I've had this experience, not for myself, but someone who had gout so bad that she could barely walk. And I gave her some of our pain extreme relief. That's not pain cream, extreme relief. And she put it on. She called me the next day. She said, girl, she said, I was able to put my shoes on. I was able to walk. And she was just totally outdone. And so I would say the pain cream is a great assistance in that light, along with dietary concerns.
Yes, we can't stress diet enough, and water enough to help and to assist our amazing products to get our bodies back in balance. And again, yes, that disclaimer, we can't make any claims that any of these products can be used to treat, diagnose, mitigate, or cure anything. But the research is there. I mean, essential oils have been studied for centuries, as cannabis has as well. So you ladies were absolutely amazing. And yes, there will be a part 2 and a part 3 and a part 4, because honestly, essential oils are just very an interesting healing sort of plant that we all need to know more about, not only about its usage, but how to dilute, how to safely use these essential oils. And so I want to thank each and every one of you. I want to thank our Wakana Medical Advisory Board. We have here Dr. Joyce Smith, Karen Williams, and Dr. Betty Guy, who assisted the delivery of all of this information. Then we have Dr. Natasha Gettings, Dr. Charlotte Mitchell, Dr. Tyus Crawford, who are also part of our medical advisory board. We want to thank all of our guests, all of our business partners for joining tonight. I know we went over, but this was just so amazing. We had to take all of your questions. Have an amazing rest of your evening. Thank you so much for your patience, for your attentiveness, and we will send that bottle of black seed to the winner tonight. But thank you, ladies, so much.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Excellent job.
Good night.
Amazing.
Thank you.